Newmar has a brand new Super C motorhome line for 2026 here in their Grand Star. Kind of crazy because this is essentially like Newmar's entry-level Super C that is basically going to be a very high-end entry-level Super C. This 3940 here has bunks inside and is right at about 39 to 40 feet on the S2 RV chassis with the Cummins diesel engine, 360 horsepower, 800 pound-feet of torque, and can tow up to 12,000 pounds. So let's go take a look, come on. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Myles with Firmly Unbound, and we're here at Blue Compass RV today in San Marcos, California, taking a look for the first time at these new for 2026 Newmar Grand Stars. These aren't just like a new model for 2026, or sorry, just not like a first 2026 model hitting the ground. This is actually a new product line entirely for 2026 with these Grand Stars. So this one here was the 3444. This is right at about 34 feet 11 inches, making it one of the smallest Super C motorhomes you'll find on the market, more nimble and easy to get around. I already have a video of that one on my page, so you can go check that out if you want to take a look at that. This here is the 3940, so this is going to be a bigger option here. This one has bunk beds in it, and then you can see we have different exterior color options as well as interior color options. This one had more of a brown interior, still looks like a modern brown, but brown nonetheless. This one will have a white interior, and you can do a lot of mixing and matching with Newmar products to make it exactly what you want. So if you're not seeing something exactly in this model here that is on the lot available for sale in San Marcos, California, you can always contact one of our Blue Compass stores that sells Newmar to get a specific Newmar build that you may want. Now, if you're just looking for any type of RV in general, Blue Compass has over 100 different stores in 33 different states across the United States. And we are here and ready to help and excited to help when you're ready to purchase your next RV. So there's a link down below in the comments and description where you can find a store close to you. Now, a couple things before we head inside, talking about a Super C motorhome, just kind of what makes it different, what makes it desirable for some people. This is obviously going to compare most closely to a Class A motorhome, like a bus that we see there in the distance. With those buses, they're fun, they're cool, and the advantage to those is that you get that windshield with a huge view, just having a very immersive travel experience that you don't get on the Super C. However, on a Super C motorhome like this, you get your driver's seat behind the axles, has what I would consider a more natural driving experience because it feels much more like just driving a truck in that way, versus on a diesel pusher or any Class A motorhome in general, you're sitting right over the axles. It just feels a little bit more, or a little bit less natural than what you might normally be used to. With this also, you get your engine bay right up front here. So we can actually pop this open super easy. And on the reason like why they call a Class A motorhome a diesel pusher for their diesel models is because that diesel engine is going to be back on the back end of the motorhome, usually under a bedroom or bathroom, meaning that access to the engine is much more difficult, almost always requires some sort of technician to be able to get in there. Versus on a Super C motorhome, you have your engine bay right up front here, very easy to get to. You can see that Cummins diesel engine. I could get into this engine bay literally with one hand, and it is just not a difficult experience whatsoever. Plus, this is on a Freightliner S2 RV chassis, so that is going to mean that you could take this to any Freightliner service center across the country to get any work done on this if you ever need it. You also have the diamond guard up here, so this is going to protect this front end of your coach from any sort of damage to the paint. It has recovery hooks up on the front here as well. And last thing, because of having this engine block up front here, this is also going to mean if you ever did, for any instance, get into any sort of head-on collision, which we always obviously hope that never happens, but if it does, you have this whole crumple zone up here in this whole area that's going to absorb that impact before it gets to you, versus in a Class A motorhome, it is literally just you and the windshield between that collision. So a little bit more of a safety factor, I would say, as well with the Super C motorhomes. Last thing to talk about outside, I'll give you kind of one quick look around. Actually, we'll go ahead and hop inside after I show you this. You have a 4K Samsung TV out here with a Bose soundbar, and then you'll have the awning up over this area that has the protective metal sleeve over that, so that will keep that safe. And then let's go ahead and hop inside. So as we step inside here, you have an absolutely massive window on that door. I don't know that it has a shade on the window though. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. You can get a shade like from Amazon or something like that, I'm sure, but that is definitely a huge window on that door. Step inside here. Again, like I said, this has the all white interior in this space, and we will have bunks in this model. So we'll get to that here in just a second. But pretty nice space in here. Now the black stripes you're seeing across the floor are just protective carpet for this flooring in here. Starting up front, unlike other Newmar Super C motorhomes, this Grand Star is going to have a cab, or a bunk over the cab area. So you get this bunk bed here, a nice big bunk space that will be a comfortable sleeping space for grown adults. Also really like you have the powered shade here, but not just the powered shade on the window. This window is so dang big, it truly will act like a stargazer window for whoever is sleeping in this space. So you actually can lay underneath that and get a really cool view of the sky in this front cab area. And then it has AC ducting up into the space, 2 ACs on this motorhome, I believe. We'll double check and confirm that when we look outside. And then you have a privacy shade for this area as well. It's a really nice space. Outlets and USB ports with little cubbies on both sides of the bed. And this flips up, so when you are driving down the road, you have easy in and out access to your driver's cab area. Again, on the Freightliner chassis, so standard features you would expect from Freightliner across all Super C motorhomes that are on Freightliner chassis. You have powered mirrors and heated mirrors as well. These do have some sort of what looks like, and mind you, this is brand new for 2026 and there's limited information on it. I also haven't got to like talk to someone at Newmar about this product yet, so I'm just kind of going off of what I can see. Looks like we have various different air functions here on the seats that will allow for custom supports on these seats as well. So really like that. The seats themselves are going to sit how they are. They don't swivel around or anything like that in these Super C motorhomes. And then you have the 10-inch, I think it's about a 10-inch Sony display here. A little bit of a storage space up here as well. And then your backup and side cameras will show on there. Nice big Freightliner steering wheel, and you have the fun horn on here as well. So that'll be like your semi horn right there. Have a little bit of storage space up through here in this area. Let that camera adjust. Flip down sun visor. Some lights up in this space. And that is pretty much it. Outlets and USB ports and your auto leveling on this motorhome. Turn back around this way. And now if you're not liking the white colors, that's okay. Newmar has various different color options. You can also get some two-tone color options as well, where you can kind of mix and match some different colors, where you'll have a certain cabinet color on the top and a different cabinet color on the bottom. But in here, we're getting all the white cabinetry. You have this nice big, what looks like to be about a 50-inch screen TV here that pops up and down. So that is on a power retractable mechanism that is controlled by your touch panel right here. So you can see where you will have the TV lift up and down right there. And then these recliners are very, very comfy. Megan was here hanging out with me for a second before she went back to the truck, and she had to actually leave because she almost fell asleep on these recliners. Mind you, she is in her first trimester of pregnancy, so that was definitely something where she is just always able to take a nap. These do recline back just a little bit, but they do kind of require the weight of your back leaned against those to stay in the laid back position. And these are, like I said, very comfortable recliners, oversized, and a very nice, comfortable, soft feeling leather material that is different than what you'll find in a lot of your towable RVs. Definitely a higher quality there. Middle area has this ceramic style material there covering this massive storage space. 2 cup holders, and then all of your windows will have pull down day and night shades. Not powered shades, just manual pull down day and night shades. So the night shades are currently down on these windows. Nice lighting in the, not the balances, the fascias on the slide outs here. And then you have this big storage space all throughout there. Turn around this way. This has like a compact dining table. So just kind of a 2-person dining table in this area. And then you have pull out storage space down underneath there. Open this up, more storage throughout this area. All solid stained hardwood on your cabinetry in motorhomes like these. Have your sound bar up over the top. I believe it's a Bose sound bar there. Looks like that says Bose, but I can only read off the screen on the camera. Then you have more storage here, magnet latches to hold those cabinet doors closed. And you have the big window behind the TV, so when you drop that down, you will get kind of like a, panoramic, not maybe a panoramic view, but you get windows on this side and windows on this side, plus the big door window as well. And kind of like how you have this little you know, rail guard here, whatever you might want to call this, right there on the steps. Decent amount of countertop space here in the kitchen. You have a charcoal colored stainless steel sink. It's a single basin sink in this motorhome. You have the retractable faucet right here, retracts down nice and far. And then you have the flip up additional countertop space. So nice, since the countertop space is somewhat limited. And then start looking at some of the storage through this area. See your storage space down underneath here. Do you see, I'm not sure what that additional water connection is there, but I don't see individual shutoff valves on the water lines. All that means is if you had some sort of water leak, you would have to turn off the water to the entire coach to fix that water leak and prevent it from continuing. This model also is going to have the dishwasher right here. So that will be a pull open dishwasher that you get. Have some storage space through here, a little shallow on that storage space. So I'm kind of looking through here. I'm like, dang, where are like the pots and pans gonna go? That's the hardest thing, is like, there's not a whole lot of pots and pan storage in this motorhome. I'm not seeing a whole lot of space where those would fit. You do have the air fryer and convection oven right here, but this drawer is so shallow. You could fit like a real shallow pot or pan in there maybe. Not a pot, but maybe a pan. And then down underneath here, you could stack it sideways maybe if you put some like, you know, stuff in there to kind of like a rack system to stack them in sideways. Maybe that would be the best solution for that. You have a Whirlpool residential style refrigerator and freezer. Has the ice maker here in the freezer portion. And as we turn back around this way, you can see the great privacy that this door is going to offer going into that bunk room space. And then we have going into here, the washer and dryer. So you have that washer and dryer in the living room area. And this pantry space here. So load up all your food and things like that into this space. You do push these to open them. So if you ever go look at these in person, just know you gotta push them to release the latch. And you can see all those there. Nice having the washer dryer outside of the bedroom too, so you can leave that running and it won't disturb you while you are sleeping. Then we open up this space and you have your 2 bunk beds in here. Just looks really nice. And the bunk beds hold up to 250 pounds. Look like they're about 6 feet in length. Have your individual reading light here with outlets up in this area as well. Windows on both bunks. And you can see nice easy access into that bottom bunk with the ladder to get up onto the top bunk. Touchscreen control panel here for the motorhome. This also will connect to your phone, and this can connect from anywhere in the world. So really nice, you can control things like your auto gen start and your HVAC system from anywhere. If you're out on a hike and forget to turn your AC on or anything like that, for instance, you can make sure that you have control of that on the go. You have this other door here to block off the bedroom. So if you have kids staying in this area or maybe grown adults staying in this area, you actually can create your own little kind of like closed in space here for the bunk beds. So it kind of turns into like a mini room here in this area. There's just not a lot of storage. There is, let's see if there's anything down underneath here. Okay, there are some drawers that open up down underneath the bunks here, as you can see. But that's it for the storage in this area. And these beds don't lift up or down or anything like that. They stay put as they are. 1 bathroom in this model. They also will have a bath and a half model without the bunks, I believe. So that's another option that will be out there. You have a solid toilet seat here. So it's not a plastic toilet seat. It is soft close as well, and it's a porcelain foot flush toilet. We have liquefied here, black tape treatment you can find for your RV at Blue Compass stores all across the country now in their parts departments. And you can also find it on Amazon as well. Keeps your black tank smelling fresh and makes sure everything that goes through your toilet decomposes properly and will drain out properly. Really interesting looking chrome style sink here. Nice big bowl on that though. And then you have your medicine cabinet storage, your lighting up over that space. Vent fan here, really great lighting in general in this bathroom. Women will definitely appreciate the lighting in here without a doubt. And then you have all of your storage space throughout this area. Now the door is kind of interesting. You can see how it's on this swivel hinge, has a hook on there, and it's gonna open like so. So you don't really feel like you get the full space of the bathroom until you actually close the door. Then we have our shower here. Molded fiberglass 1-piece shower. In this space has the shower miser system. So basically this is gonna have a water recirculation system, so no water drains out of the shower head until it is heated up. It's not sending it like, it's not reusing your gray water. It's basically sending water that's already gone through the water heater back through the water heater again, from what I understand. So that water will heat up before any of it is then switched over to start actually flowing out of the shower head. So that means you can actually step foot into the shower, turn the shower on and the water will instantly be hot versus having to wait for it to heat up so you don't waste any water. Super tall shower. I'm standing at 6'1". You can see this actually sits way above my head. Really nice. You could probably be about 6'5" and still have that sit over your head in the shower. And you could probably be about 7 feet tall and fit in the shower with how big the skylight is. Plus you have the 2 shower heads here with the wand. So very, very nice. Plenty of space in here. It is a really large shower. So really like that. Have your hook right there again, like I believe I mentioned, and some light controls right here. Then we go back into the bedroom. Another sliding door here. King size bed in the bedroom. Now this model, I do not see any controls for a lift on the bed. So it looks like this bed is going to stay put in place how it is and is not going to retract up and down from anywhere that I could tell. If that is incorrect on my end, please let me know. But just with the mattress that I'm feeling on here as well, how plush this mattress is, this does not feel like a mattress that's going to bend at all. So I would think that that's going to be true and be the case. Outlets and USB ports here on the side of the bed. And then up here, you have outlets in here plus little holes that you can run cables through. So if you have a CPAP machine or anything like that, you are able to run that down to yourself while you are in the bed over this cabinetry. And then you have a touchscreen control panel there, control things like your lights, your generator, things like that from bed. All of your wardrobe storage here in this space, so you can see that on both sides. You have your TV here as well with that Samsung TV in the bedroom. So Samsung TVs all throughout. See your storage space down through here. And spot here for some of your TV connections right there. And same wardrobe storage on this side as well. So kind of like a his and hers. Now we have various different slide outs in this motorhome. So slide out here all along this wall, slide out here on this bed. So that means this is going to basically come up together to this area. So you'll still be able to access the bed while the slides are closed. It is just going to come right up against the wardrobe storage here. And then you'll be able to get into the bathroom. That's why the door opens like it does. If they did a full swinging hinge door, that would restrict the door from being able to open up far enough for you to get into the bathroom with the slides closed. But the way it is configured now, you will be able to get into the bathroom with the slides closed. You have a central vac system with the floor sweep here, so you can just flip that up and it will suck all your dust and everything up into that little valve right there. And then as we go into the kitchen area, you'll still be able to sit in the recliners and the dining area with the slides closed, but because we have the opposing slides that will come together here, you will not be able to recline the seats out with the slides closed while you are going down the road. And that is pretty much everything on the inside of this motorhome. So very curious your thoughts. Let me know what you think down below in the comments, and I'll show you some stuff on the outside before we go ahead and finish up. Also do want to show you road mode real quick. So you can see the space through here. It is a little shallow. You do kind of got to do a side step through this area here, but you have all the seating accessible to you. This is also why they don't do a larger booth space in this area, so that you still have the room to walk through. And then, like I said, you can still get back through here again, just have to kind of do a side step back into this area, get to the other side of that bathroom door, and then you can open it and slide into the bathroom. So it is a little narrow in here. I will say, like, if I turn the camera around, if you're a little bit wider of a person, you actually might, I mean, you can remove this ladder right here, but this space, like through here, I'm only 185 pounds. And I would imagine if I was like 220, 250, anything like that, I legitimately might not fit through here. And that is something where you might actually, if you're a larger person, need to come see this in person if this is like an important feature for you in a motorhome, to be able to get to the bathroom while you're driving down the road and you're just larger in size. You might have to come test that out, because that gap right there is pretty narrow. It is not great. So that is something just to be mindful of as you go through that space. And then I also want to show you the slide mechanism right here. You can see it's very different than what you see on a lot of other RVs, where it is these manual arms right here. As I start to push this slide out, you'll see how these arms respawn there. And it seems like those are part of that slide mechanism, which is unlike anything else quite that I've seen in a lot of other RVs that I review. So just wanted to show you that, but that is how the slide will go in and out. Okay, outside we have a really nice looking front end on this motorhome, kind of like almost like a matte black style grille up here. And then you have the recovery hooks again, like I mentioned, that front end on the Newmar portion, just a little bit bigger cab up over the top there. And this looks like this is all one big molded piece here for this entire front cap. So no seals or seams on that. Fiberglass roof as well. They have these American Racing Coach Series rims on here that look really, really nice. And then that is a Michelin 275/80 R22.5 tire. It's their XZE. Coming along this way, side cameras right here on this side. Then all of your storage doors will have strut assist arms there to pop those open. See your storage space down underneath here with your light in that space. You can also see part of this frame slide out mechanism. So that part going through the coach there is part of the slide mechanism. And then storage space down underneath here has a little bit of additional storage up in here. So really elevating the amount of storage with that extra little bit of space in there. Pretty nice. And then all these are slam latch doors. So you just slam them shut. They have these seals here for the weather protection and everything like that. And these are insulated, nice thick baggage doors here. Also worth noting too, in this space, that is all a metal material. It's not going to be like a composite or plastic material in those storage bins. So that's something you'll see in some of the less expensive Super C options that this might compete with. Down underneath here, central vac system. Also looks like this is likely your black tank here and your outlet there. Receiver hitch for the Gen Y accessory, or not the accessory hitch, the towing hitch on the back. And you have a light in this area. Keep coming along this way, check all these doors. Most of it is storage along this side, but I want to show you, you have this like little bit of additional storage space up through these areas. That's your freshwater tank right here. And storage space that does actually pass through to the other side along the back end. Has a Gen Y receiver hitch along the back, rated to tow up to 12,000 pounds at the max capacity on that hitch. Really nice kind of 3D badging here that is matte black with the Grand Star. And then you have the backup camera up there kind of worked into the back cap. So it's not like sticking out, which also looks really good. That storage space through here on this side. Then you have all of your power accessories here. So you have the power cord reel, 2,000 watt inverter, and a lot of your electrical accessories through this compartment, including your transfer switch there for your generator and 50 amp power. Your 6 house batteries. Spot here to fill your fuel tank. Now I did not get the fuel capacity on here. I was going through the specs and I might have just potentially missed it, but it should be on the specs and floor plan layout at the beginning of the video. Then as we go through this area here, all your water connections. Also have the spot for the water filter down there, outdoor shower, and this is where you can fill your freshwater tank as well, plus a black tank rinse valve there. A little bit more storage down underneath here. Now this underneath here, I actually do not know exactly what that little white thing is. If somebody's made it to this point in the video and knows what that is for sure, let me know. I'm not sure if that is a like a macerator system. So I don't see controls for that. Over here, I see controls for the water pump. I don't know if maybe that's just the, no, because that's the water pump right there. That's the first thing I've seen that I'm not sure exactly what that might be. So if you see that, let me know down below in the comments what that is if you know, and let the other viewers know that are watching. 8,000 watt quiet diesel generator from Cummins right here, and then you have the Oasis Chinook hydronic heating system for your furnace and tankless water heater. Have your coach batteries right there. See what it looks like with your slide out closed on this side. Your slide out sits nice into that wall there. Looks really clean, frameless windows here. And just a really nice looking motorhome in general. Again, various different color options inside and out. And when you're looking for your next RV, there's a link down below in the comments and description of this video where you can find a Blue Compass RV dealership close to you, as they have over 100 different stores across the United States. And we can't wait to help you out when you're looking for your next RV. So use that link down below to find a store close to you. Here at this store, they have this one listed right now at $399, $999. This is one of the first ones they've got in the country. It's always room for some negotiation in these prices as well. And I would always encourage you, when looking at motorhomes like this, to come take a look at them in person, test drive it, come feel it first before you actually get to looking at purchasing. Unless maybe you've already driven an S2 RV chassis, then they might all kind of feel somewhat the same. But if you haven't, you should definitely come test drive it and things like that. Those are things that are available to you when you come and shop for a motorhome like this. So definitely encourage that. But that's all I got for y'all. Appreciate you watching, and until next time, live firmly unbound.